15. A theatre review is a lens. The reviewer also, consciously or unconsciously, brings to their review their bias, politics, and history to the show. They separate their point of view and supplement it to the point of view of the art of the stage. This is the biggest challenge, I think, for me as a
totally me too
as a reviewer.
This certainly was with my review of Dial M for Murder. I reviewed what I thought the play was going to be instead of reviewing what the play was. I went with a whole, I was expecting something that didn't happen. And that, suddenly I reviewed what didn't happen. And as a reviewer, you can't do that because that's not what the play, that's not what his purpose was.
It's interesting, though, because if we look at something that gets altered a great deal, for example, if we're going to go specifically to Sleuth at Vertigo, where it was written as a two-hander. I was expecting a two-hander, and then I got a three-hander. The shock of that and the response of that was very different for a reviewer who understands what the original piece is.
I can remember that I couldn't do that second act because I was focusing on the fact that they'd added the third character, and you're going, but that's not how it was written. That's not the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
And again, why do directors want to tamper with classics? And what they say, what the point of view was that it was such an old play that try something different with it. Then don't do it. If you don't want to do the play as was written, then don't do it. Mm-hmm. Don't suddenly try and bring in all these other elements to jazz it up. If you can't make it work as written, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Find somebody who can make it work. Yes. Yeah. Who wants to make it work. Yeah. Again, there's that thing where you don't go to a director and say, here, do this play for us. You go to the director and say, would you like to do this play? Is this play something you'd like to do? And with directors, don't do plays that you don't like because it's obvious. I mean, I've seen plays and I go, the director didn't want to do that. That was a gun for hire. That wasn't a director who was committed to that play.
Yes. I think I see that sometimes with British plays as well. There's a tendency to think about British plays as coming from a place of everybody knows that, so we don't have to do it right.
Oh, right. And you're very right, yeah. And that's not only the British plays, but Italian plays and French plays. Again, you only give them to directors who understand those plays.
Yeah.
You don't give British sex farce to a director who doesn't understand that genre. Because when you go to it, you're going, but that's not the way it would have been done in Britain.
Yeah.
And that's why when we do the pantomimes at Christmas here in Calgary, that's not the way they're done in Britain. Mm-hmm. So either you have an American one and do it, or don't do the British ones, or find somebody who understands what the pantomime is all about.
Which is hard for the audience because the audience doesn't understand the role of the audience in pantomime, which is the callbacks and the things that, that culture is used to.
I mean, I've only been to London 3 times over the Christmas holidays, and those times I did go to see pantomime, and the audience was it was louder than I have ever listened to an audience. But they, as you say, they knew the callbacks. They were prepared for that. It's a tradition. We don't have that tradition here.
Yeah.
So you find something else to do at Christmas. And we see that that's what we do in Calgary, is that we do plays that work for a family audience rather than doing the real pantomimes.
Yes.